And we are live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Today, we're going to go through one of the challenges that a lot of entrepreneurs face. It's also Wealth Principle 1. This journey of Wealth Principles started 4 years ago. So we're actually in season 5. So let's give all of our OGs a round of applause, those who have been with us from the very beginning. And if you are new to this program, welcome to our exploration of the 52 Wealth Principles. These are a journey to double your income, double your net worth. Limited thinking can hold you back in various ways, and here are some common mistakes and symptoms of what's not working for you. This principle today will address them. Number 1 is financial stress, feeling constantly stressed about money and struggling to make ends meet. If you've ever seen somebody experience that, maybe it's not you. If you've ever seen somebody experience financial stress, we're going to solve some of the problems. You'll be able to communicate this to them in a much easier manner. Number 2 is the fear of investment, being afraid to invest or take financial risks, missing out on potential opportunities, or the inability to make actions happen. So analysis paralysis. Number 3 is missed opportunities. In fact, give me 1 second. Can you hear the phone ringing in my background? No? Perfect. And we'll keep running through. It looks like somebody's calling us from the help desk downstairs. Missed opportunities, hesitating when opportunities arise, which can lead to missed chances for growth and success. Again, analysis paralysis. And the 4th one is a lack of confidence, battling self-doubt, which can hinder your ability to make bold financial decisions. The 5th final reason for this wealth principle is a scarcity mentality, which some of you have seen in other people. Show of hands if you know of a person who has that scarce mindset. They're afraid to make decisions. They just don't. Everything to them is a horror show, right? An issue. So constantly worrying about running out of money, or believing that there's never enough to go around. Fortunately, this wealth principle number 1 is think $1 million. Now, even though it's involving thinking, I will be the first to tell you can't necessarily think and grow rich. Who's read that fantastic book, the life-changing book? Every millionaire on the planet that I know has read this book. In fact, it's a life-changing principle, and it's the burning desire. Who here has heard of the burning desire and has their own burning desire, knows what they're here for? Excellent. Family, legacy, financial freedom, do whatever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want. And hopefully, most of you, the ability to impact somebody else. Who here is committed to building 100 millionaires? Show of hands if you've made that commitment and will continue with it. Excellent. Let's give you a round of applause. That's what Alchemist Nation stands for. It's all about helping others. And if you're just getting started, maybe you're not going to help build millionaires. Maybe you help 100 millionaires who already exist reach their financial freedom goals, reach their next level. Show of hands if you're okay with serving 100 millionaires, if that would change your life. Excellent. Might as well help somebody else have a better life while you're on your way to getting a better life. Surround yourself with success, and there's a good chance you'll eventually have that same level of success. So this principle does have a book behind it, like all principles. We'll have Mike Shine, the keeper of the books, bring up that principle in a little bit, the book itself. Here's the power of millionaire thinking. When you start thinking like a millionaire, you start doing things like a millionaire. Who here has heard that thoughts lead to feelings? Has anybody heard that thoughts lead to feelings? Excellent. So you can reprogram how you feel around things. That's kind of what thinking like a millionaire does, is it allows you to, when the market goes down, you think buy stuff, right? When there's blood in the streets, like Warren Buffett says, you think great opportunity. I can help some people. There's people out here who are struggling, who need help. Maybe I can buy their house for cash, or maybe I can help another investor invest their money into a project that will help everybody, including the seller who's getting out, maybe have lost some money, but getting into a better position at this point in their life. Who here knows zero is sometimes better than massive debt for somebody who is in a struggling situation? So regardless, when you think like a millionaire, you start acting like a millionaire. So thoughts lead to feelings, and how you feel about something, that's the energy behind something. Another way to talk about energy is, I'm sorry, I'll come back to that in a sec. So thoughts lead to feelings, feelings lead to actions, actions lead to results. Without action, and this was one of the challenges we said at the summit, was that we can't stand when gurus are like, you got to take action, you got to take action, you got to take action. It's hard to take action when every action is a fearful action. When you're taking action in a fearful state, you tend to do things wrong. Has anybody half-assed their actions, or know somebody who has? You just go through something, it's like, this will never work, and like you're doing it with such a half-assed energy that it guarantees not working. So this principle implies thinking in such a way that things have to work, and applying so much energy behind them that it becomes inevitable that they will work, and seeking with that energy. You are human, right? You have the consciousness of a human, the ability to solve problems that maybe a machine couldn't solve, although they are catching up because they're modeling what you already have. Your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. Who here knows you're currently stronger than AI? What you've been operating on and what AI is facing and working towards is to catch up to you, the thing that you've already got, this amazing gift that you already have. So embracing millionaire mindset can bring you out some remarkable opportunities, some also changes in your life. So it's okay to change. Who here is okay with adjustments? If things aren't exactly where you want them to be, it's okay to change things that aren't working. Yes? All right. Now, if things are exactly where you want them to be, my suggestion is work with that. That's probably something you should do more of. Excellent. Number one of the goals we all have, financial freedom. It paves the way to financial freedom and independence where money works for you. The millionaire mind, or thinking a million, is allowing money to do its job. You're no longer the slave. In fact, money is, for lack of a better word, a slave, something that's going to go out and create more opportunity for you. Put those Benjamins to work, right? Put the Benjamins building more Benjamins. Big Benjamin makes little Benjamin. Number two, confidence boosting. When you think like a millionaire, you gain the confidence to make strategic financial decisions and seize opportunities. You'll no longer look at deals that can only make you $10. There are a lot of businesses opportunities that would take a ton of time. Let's think about network marketing for a moment. It takes a ton of time. And the results are you make 5 cents per protein shake you sold. Who here knows the people who've bought into those or have bought into them yourself? Yes, at some point. It's just a ton of energy, a ton of resource, and that business could never become $1 million business. So it allows you to start making decisions a lot faster so you can spend more time with your family and do things that you're really passionate about. Number three, positive attraction. This is the benefit of thinking a million. A millionaire mindset attracts wealth and abundance into your life, creating a positive cycle, a positive loop that reinforces things that you've already done well, stack onto the next thing that you've done well, and allows you to do bigger and bigger deals. Who here has heard of a billionaire or multimillionaire who started off with a duplex? Has anybody heard of those stories? Grant Cardone, for example, started off with a duplex. He saw his mother do a duplex, and he did a duplex. And now the guy talks about not being able to do something under 200 units. So who here knows you grow over time, it builds. This is something that you're capable of. You've probably seen it in your own self. Who has children? Show of hands if you have children and seen them start with just rolling on their belly. And it's like, okay, like that's positive. That's good. Now you got to lift yourself up and it becomes crawling. And then it starts the holding your hand as they're trying to get that next step, and before you know it, you're wishing they weren't running so fast. It's one of those crazy things that as you start developing wealth, you're going to notice the wealth is developing itself and it starts going for you. And then the final one, and no, not the final one, we'll go innovation and creativity. You approach problems with fresh perspectives, fostering innovation and creative solutions, not just from yourself, but from the people around you. Who here saw a ton of great people at the summit and recognized other people were starting to solve problems for you? You shared what you were here for, and other people were like, oh, I've met this person. You got to be introduced. Who got introduced to somebody by somebody else? Excellent. Give yourselves a round of applause. You must have been clear about what you were looking for. That is part of that millionaire mindset, thinking about how do I help somebody else, and also here's what I'm looking for as well. And the final one is legacy building. Thinking like a millionaire enables you to leave lasting legacy for generations to come. Who here has family or generations that, or will build generations after them, and you just like to see them do a little better than you did? Just give them not spoil them. We don't want to spoil them, but we want to create opportunity so they can really unfurl their souls. Give yourselves a round of applause. I think that's why Alchemist Station exists, is that ability to pass it forward and help others. So now that we know why we're doing what we're doing and the results we're seeking, let's explore some strategies to rewire your mind, including overcoming your limiting beliefs that hold you back, boosting self-confidence to make informed financial decisions, and cultivating a positive mindset to attract abundance. So first, when we look at a limiting belief, everybody has heard Tony Robbins talk about limiting beliefs, change your story. When I love the man, especially, his high fives and his yes and the big teeth and everything about him is so positive. Him and his wife and his adventures all across the country, feeding families and walking on fire. The guy has his shit figured out. Who agrees Tony Robbins has this done? Unfortunately, he says the word limiting belief like every other sentence, and people forget what it means to have a limiting belief because it's like mindset, the word mindset and the word limiting belief. So let me pull this back and just adjust. A limiting belief or a negative mindset are simply symptoms of not getting the result that you're looking for. It's a way of looking at something. When you change your perspective on money, when you change your perspective on a task, because some of us would say hiring a person is impossible. You can never find good work. And that's a limiting belief that stops people from making success. So we could change the word limiting belief and say it's a perception. Is it okay if we just say it's a false perception? It's a false perception appearing real, right? It's a fear, false evidence appearing real. So when we're looking at those false perceptions, like another one, I have to work hard for my money, or nobody wants to help me get to that next level. Nobody believes in me, or nobody trusts me to get this next task. Anybody felt any of those or know somebody who's had those? And you can see that they're holding them back, right? They're limiting their success. One of the ways to remove a limiting belief is to start small. Prove to yourself on a super small level that it's actually possible. If you have children, show hands again, parents? Okay, so if you ever had the problem of not hiring good people or not getting people to do work the way you want to do it, you can start very small. Start in your own household. If you have a spouse or a child, you can start and ask them, hey, can you do this for me? Can you do this, or can you show me a better way to do this? Can you and I work together to get this done? And then once they've accomplished the task, you now have proof of your ability to manage a task. This makes sense. You have your proof to show that you've taught a task. And when it comes to recruiting new people, strangers that you've never talked to before, you can go out into the stores or out into a very busy place, and you can simply ask somebody for directions. If they give you good directions, you've now proven your skill to identify a person with the knowledge, and two, to request that knowledge from them. Who here has ever asked for directions and ended up going where you want to go? We already have proof that you're a great person of acquiring talent and great at requesting talent to be used from another person. So when we're looking at things that we believe to be true, I'm going to pose the concept to you this week. Maybe readjust. If you see somebody else's business is hiring people and that's how they're making more money, or somebody else has got a sales team and that's how they're making more money, or somebody's sales team is converting better, or their marketing funnel is converting better, maybe we could stop and say that it's just a matter of asking them how they got it done. Maybe I just go and I ask, how are you doing what you're doing so well? Somebody who's got 1,000 units. Well, what is it you did to get those 1,000 units? What was the first step? Show of hands, we understand we can get confidence just by asking, and then we can get confidence by testing, and we get confidence by every level, just little small practices until we get to those much larger ones. The second one kind of ties into the first. Once you start making practice to remove your limiting beliefs, you actually start boosting your confidence. You actually start increasing your ability to believe in yourself just by small wins. That first conversation with your child to get them to do a task that they otherwise would not have known how to do, what you had to educate them on, gives you the confidence that you're able to teach the next task and the next task and the next task. Show of hands if you find yourself now, even as we're speaking, to be a great teacher. You're noticing memories of times where you have taught somebody something. That's fascinating, isn't it? And the practice of this starts small. And every single lesson you are able to convince somebody of or teach somebody is an asset. And I want you to celebrate those assets. Can you? And so those of you who have a pen or paper or an accountability partner or a text message, text your accountability partner to say, hey, I'm going to do some teaching this week. I'm going to do some hiring this week. I'm going to do some asking people. For those of you who are afraid to raise capital, I'm going to ask somebody for $1. Just ask for $1 and then give them the $1 back a week from now. It's a great way to practice borrowing people's money and then returning their money. And if you have to give them a 10% return on investment, giving them that penny on that dollar you borrowed is simply a lesson. You could spend $10,000 on a coaching program to learn how to raise capital, or you could spend 10 cents for every person you borrow $1 from. Does that make sense? Yes, you're not making money, but you're investing in yourself. You're investing in your confidence to be able to do this. Same with submitting offers. Who here has ever gone to a antique store? Has anybody seen antique stores? Show of hands. You seen those? Okay. When you negotiate in an antique store, it's the same as negotiating a real estate deal. Same amount of conversation, same amount of intellect you must have on the owner and find out what their soft spots are, what their weaknesses are, what they're looking to do. And then you have the conversation. Okay, well, what could we do to get this at the price I'm looking for? Who finds that their negotiating skills could level up if they just negotiate a little bit more on smaller things? Excellent. Of course. And you'll see guys like Donald Trump, and I know, his spotted opinion of him, but Donald Trump always negotiates everything. He can't help himself. He ends up in a situation he has to negotiate, and it probably bothers people because he's a super rich guy, but he's still negotiating. I know even with Dorina, when we go out at this, we're at a all-inclusive resort. And the other day she negotiated for $100 extra because they moved our room. And I felt super uncomfortable. I'm like, it's only $100, babe. Like, let it go. But she couldn't help herself. She had to negotiate. She had to say, well, what are you going to do for it? What can you take care of me on? Everything else is already paid for. What can you do? And she got an extra massage out of it. So let's give Dorina a round of applause. Even I learned the lesson of negotiate everything. There's sharpen the skill, keep the skill going. All right. So the last one is cultivating a positive mindset to attract abundance. And I think by far this is the most fun part of this, and probably even the most important. Michael Shine was talking about vision boards, and we will talk about one of the principles of success is vision boards, and we'll get back to that in the future. But if you look at Mike Shine's screen behind him, that is one of his vision boards. Thinking a million means choosing a business that can make $1 million, and that is Wealth Principle 2. So next week, we're going to go into that principle deeper. And seeing the results of it, seeing why we want something that would actually present us with that net worth. Some of you are net worth millionaires seeking more net worth. Net worth is great. $1 million net worth, you can put it into the stock market, make 8%. That's $80,000 a year. $1 million in cash flow and in positive cash flow is also great. It gets taxed a little heavier, but that tax still gives you a $600,000 cash flow that you're able to use somewhere else. Show of hands, it's okay to pay taxes if you're an income millionaire, if that's the focus you spent your time on. Absolutely. And then for some of you, you're real estate investors and your income comes in these big waves, but you have these depreciating assets that you're able to balance against. And maybe your income ends up being everything that you made and you don't pay too much to the tax man. So if you understand, there's other strategies out there. There's ways that millionaires of all kinds can adjust their strategies so that they get the best of both worlds. It's okay to pay taxes if you hadn't planned yourself out. And it's okay to have net worth if you haven't figured out the income piece. But my goal for this year is to make sure that you have both more net worth and more cash flow and more time. We don't want to compromise our time with our family and our adventures and with our souls. Show of hands if you commit to doing all it takes each week, one principle at a time. Excellent. So this week, all I want you to do is think about the next million. For those of you who've already made your million, whether it was net worth or it was income, then I just want you to think about the next one. Maybe it's make $1 million in 6 months. Maybe it's make $1 million in 3 months. Maybe it's make $1 million in a month. And for those of you who haven't acquired the million, maybe it's make $1 million in 5 years. Maybe it's make $1 million in 3 years. Maybe it's 2 years. Maybe it's do your first 1 year million. Some of you are thinking, well, take me 10 years to make $1 million. That just means you're making $100,000 a year. That's just the income side. I'm okay with any goal that you have as long as it leads to a bigger goal next year. Show of hands if you're okay with increasing the goal next year. Excellent. Do not feel like your goal is too small, your goal is too big. Just pick a goal that you know you will do. And whether or not you hit your goal, please commit to yourself that you will learn the lessons necessary to hit that goal next year. Show of hands, we agree. Excellent. So this idea of think a million. We're going to do a quick session. I don't have Doug on here, so we won't go into his music, but we're going to do a quick activity session. First, I want you to write down 3 things that make becoming a millionaire, thinking at the millionaire level, worth it to you. Getting that next million. I want you to think about 3 things or write them down. What would make it worth it to you? Is it fun? Is it more time with the family? Is it taking the family on a special adventure? Is it being able to invest in a charity that means a lot to you? Is be able to start the business that you're really passionate about, a business that would be a legacy for your family. What is the 3, or it could be 1, but what are the 3 things that you will absolutely do on your way to $1 million and once you've hit $1 million? And remember, the journey is what this is all about. It's really about the fun of who you become as you become a millionaire. Thinking about becoming a person who can sustain this and enjoys it. Money is not work. Money is the opportunity to pay other people to do work. Show of hands, we understand that to be true too. It's not work managing money. It's fun managing money. And if you have a hard time managing and you don't find it to be fun, then you get to pay somebody to manage it for you, which is also fun. Love paying good people. So write down your 3 things. And you can do this. You can text your accountability partner if you have one. You can audibly tell them to your spouse, or you can write them down on paper, or if you're really comfortable and confident with your goals, you can drop them into the chat. But write down your 3, and I'd like you to be able to walk away with these. So it's best if they're in a place that after this call, throughout the rest of this week, you can look at the reason it's important you start thinking a million. And again, some reasons may be judged by others, so you may want to keep this to yourself for a little while. Eventually you may want to share these. The more you share your reasons, the more likely it is somebody else will help you work towards it, especially if they're not super selfish reasons. But it's okay to have selfish reasons. I want to be certain that you're motivated. So write down 3 reasons why thinking a million is important to you. 3 reasons why you'll do whatever it takes to think like somebody who finds money to be easy. You'll do whatever it takes to start thinking like somebody who finds money to be fun and enjoyable. Somebody who finds money to make them healthier and give them more time to spend with their family. So that's the millionaire mindset, is somebody who makes a ton of money and also feels really good about it, knows that their money is impactful, knows that their money is moving them and their family into a better state, better health, better education, better enjoyment of life. So 3 reasons that it makes sense for you to start thinking like a millionaire, to adapt millionaire thoughts. And this principle is important because it helps us anchor all the other principles that are going to come: the business principles, the marketing principles, the sales principles, the personal development principles. Knowing why it's important for us to start thinking at these higher levels is going to help you push through when things are uncomfortable, like pick up that phone and talk to somebody, or go and share with somebody what your goals are. So when you're getting to that point of uncomfortable moments, this one will anchor you. Show of hands, if you got everything written down, you got your 3? Excellent. Very smart. And if you haven't, well, that's your homework. Go back, watch this, listen to them again. That's your homework. So once you've gotten your 3, I want you to visualize what it would be like to have already reached your goal. So we're going to move you into the future. And for some of you who like to close your eyes during these, this is a brief little guided meditation. And if you are driving, please do not close your eyes. If you're driving, keep your eyes open and pay attention to the road. You can do this visualization exercise later. So for everybody who is safely in their house, not moving around, not operating machinery of any kind, let's close our eyes, take a deep breath in, and I want you to visualize the good you will do and the good person you are becoming. You may have to learn some skills. You may have to open your mind up to new abilities and new possibilities. But I want you to visualize yourself at your happiest state, at a state where you felt very accomplished in life, in a state where you felt like your life had meaning, like your life had purpose, and you could really tell, you knew who you were and you knew why you did what you did. I want you to, for a moment, just sit right there and relax into that space and see that as your present moment as being a millionaire. That moment of absolute confidence that your life has meaning and that you're doing great work and that the people around you, your family, are so proud of you and that you're able to contribute to them in their lives. I want you to feel that feeling and I want you to intensify it. Seeing yourself as the person who does this daily, no longer as a temporary, momentary feeling of sometimes, but now this is a feeling, a constant state of mind. Because the only way to truly think like a millionaire is to be in a state of abundance at all times. See yourself moving through your life, feeling this positive confidence, this ability to help others, this ability to serve others in a way that also serves you. Because millionaires are like kung fu masters. They move with the other movements of another person. They use the leverage of the world that's happening, the mess and the chaos around them, and they use that to move people forward, to help others get to where they want to go. Remember, you're a millionaire because you're an entrepreneur. You solve people's problems at a profit. You solve problems that are not your own. You're obviously very good at solving your own problems. And you're so good at solving other people's problems. You have so much energy and capacity and network and knowledge and resources that it's almost a game to you to play this game of becoming a millionaire and helping others do the same. So I want you to visualize this high peak state of confidence, of being the right person, doing the right thing, being the absolute best at what you do. And now as we're feeling that, I want you to shift over to the ideas behind wealth. Whenever somebody tells you it's not possible to build wealth, that it's not easy, or that the path you're on is impossible, or that other people have failed on this. I want you to just remember that one person or that two people that you could think of who have succeeded in exactly what you're doing, and maybe are even playing at a higher level than you. And I want you to think about how confident they are in their skills and their abilities. And remind yourself that you have just what they have, maybe even more, because you want it just as much as they do, or just as much as they did. And I want you to visualize again that confidence that comes from being a person who helps other people, knowing that there's nobody on the planet who would ever get in the way of somebody helping a person cross the street. So why would anybody get in the way of somebody who's helping somebody transfer their property, their title, their assets, their money, especially when they're in a tough spot? So I want you to think about how helpful you are around people who have financially big problems. And the third, as we're going through this, I want you to hear the positive reviews that people are giving you. You've felt the amazing feeling. You've seen the impact you're having. And now I want you to hear and listen to the things that people say about you and your business. Man, this person's a millionaire, but you wouldn't believe how good they are. Man, this person made so much money helping people. Can you believe that? Can you believe that they just wrote that check for that charity? It's amazing. They've really worked hard to earn the right to be the biggest donor at this event. Think about and hear and feel what those thoughts about you are giving you an experience. The auditory side of being successful. Maybe it's your kids saying thanks. Thank you for letting me go to this college, or thank you for letting me go to this trip or this vacation that otherwise wouldn't have been able to do. Maybe it's your spouse finally getting to experience something that they had never been able to do when they were being raised. And now because of you and the work you've put in, and I don't mean physical work, I mean the mental work of helping more people, reaching out, being a little uncomfortable. I want you to hear those thoughts, those thanks. And maybe there are some hugs involved. Maybe there are some tears. Maybe there's some things that you've done for people that just changed their lives. And maybe you never even find out about it. Maybe it never gets told to you. Maybe the stories, the reviews, the words, the visual side of it, maybe you never see those things. But I want you for a moment just to know that if you put enough good out in the world, it's inevitable that somebody will never be able to tell you how much you helped them, but it will have helped them anyway. And as we're anchoring this into our minds, into our souls, reminding ourselves that money is simply a tool. It will only magnify what you already are. And I want you to remember that you're a pretty damn good person. You're a caring person. You're an empathic person. You want good for others. And it's okay to make money when you know that that's going to be magnified. Then that side of you, the side that made the most money, the side that's been helping and serving others, gets magnified. In fact, I want you now to maybe feel the smile of knowing that your mission is unstoppable, that the more you do, the more gets done, and the more gets done by other people who are just as passionate about your business, just as passionate about serving others as you are. Now, as we're coming back out of this, we can open our minds. Some of you may want to stay in that moment for a little bit longer, and that's okay. Some of you may want to write down some of the experiences that you felt in that moment of absolute clarity and truth of who you actually are, the alchemist who transforms themselves to transform others. And as you're coming out of it, just think about how much importance this past year has had in other people's lives. I want you to think about the importance you're going to have in 2024 as we're moving into it. You are capable of helping a lot more people because you've already proven your ability to help people in the past. Show of hands if you've done some good work in 2023. Excellent. So 2024 is inevitably a better year. You're a better person. You've got more skills. You got more relationships. You know what worked, what didn't work. And you're now in this community for the second time, for some of you, the third time, for some of you, the first time. So give yourselves a big round of applause for being here in the right place, doing the right thing at the right time, at a time where, man, the world is a little messed up. I get excited because it means we get to help more. I'm not excited about the challenges people are facing. Trust me, that breaks my heart when I really take the time to think about it. What I am excited for is this relationship, the ability that you're capable of going out there and help more people, knowing that you're on fire, knowing that you're committed, knowing that over the next 52 weeks, we're going to keep you focused on helping, keep you focused, give you the right skills, the right tools so that you can go out and be a better servant to the people who are in a position to pay you or move your mission forward. Show of hands is okay to work with people who have money. Excellent. I think so. Show of hands if it's okay to work with people who have access to money. They may be broke, but they may have access to money, and that's okay too. And show of hands, it's okay to work with people who are house rich, cash poor, and help them get their cash. I think so too. That's what real estate investors do. That's what business owners do. We help people get to the position that they want to get to. So every week, each principle, we have a book. Now, if you ever question reading books, I'm sorry, this is inevitable. I'm going to have to give you information that I can't give in just a 30-minute spiel, right? So the books are going deeper in each one of the principles. These books are 52 books, 52 weeks. Top CEOs read 50 to 60 books a year. Show of hands if they have top income. Yeah, they do. Top CEOs read 50 to 60 books. We've chosen the books. These books were chosen by millionaires, multimillionaires, and billionaires. And so the books that you're going to be reading over the next 52 weeks are specifically designed to help you get to your next level. Whatever your goals you set are, whatever you believe in, whatever your millionaire mind is telling you you're capable of, is exactly what you will get when you apply each one of the principles. Show of hands if you understand you're the only cap on your income. There is nobody else out there stopping you or slowing you down. Excellent. So this book of the week is presented by Michael Shine, who is our holistic attorney. He's our closer. He gets all our closings done, and he's also the keeper of the books. He helped me build the 52 books that go with each one of these principles. When he saw the principle, he said, man, there's got to be a book that goes to these. And it's true. My business partner told me, he said, every book has one principle that teaches really, really, really well. And if you could find the 52 books that teach the principles, and you could cheat by using Audible, then theoretically over the week, while you're at the gym, while you're doing laundry, while you're cutting the grass, you could be listening to these books while you're on your way to work, you're driving, you could be doing your jogging, you could be getting yourself to another level. You can also be getting yourself to another level mentally. Show of hands if we understand Audible's not cheating, it's effective. Excellent. I'm okay with unfair advantages. So without further ado, let's give Michael Shine, the keeper of the books, a big round of applause. Mike, what is this week's book of the week?
Thank you, Walter. Great to see everybody again. It was awesome to see you all at the summit. This week's book is right here, The Millionaire Real Estate Investor. This is by Gary Keller. If the name Keller sounds familiar, it's because he is the man who started Keller Williams Real Estate, one of the biggest real estate companies in the world. This book, if you can see, is very thick. It is a Bible. It is amazing. It has so many concepts. It walks you through step by step to become the millionaire real estate investor. And I think that when Walter and I discussed picking a book to kick off the whole 52 weeks, this was huge because, you know, you can get this book for, you know, maybe $20, and it is Gary Keller as your mentor. It's amazing. He talks about his struggle, how he started working with his friend Mike. He talks about Think a Million, just like Walter was saying. It is this book. I will never get every concept out of this book, even if I keep reading it for the rest of my life. It is just such a great book. If you're a Keller Williams real estate agent, you got the red one, which is Millionaire Real Estate Agent. But this one is the OG, and it is so awesome. Millionaire Real Estate Investor. It has charts, it has graphs, it has everything you could ever want. It's amazing. And if you stick with the Alchemist Nation, with the accountability in this book, you've got a winning formula. So I highly recommend this book, and that's the reason we put it as first. So there you go, Millionaire Real Estate Investor.
Let's give Michael Shine a big round of applause. He was at the summit. He spoke on stage to talk about partnerships. He talked about the importance of partnerships and why all of his businesses have somebody who is responsible for all the work, because Mike likes to do the money side and he likes to hire really good people to partner up with so that they can do the work side. And he's done a fantastic job. He's had some lessons. He's had some failed partnerships, and then he's had some amazing, amazing partnerships, his wife being his biggest and best partner of all of his partnerships. So let's give Mike Shine and Brenda Shine a big round of applause. They're a phenomenal couple, and they've helped a lot of people by helping a lot of people. Amazing how it works. I will say, if you have found that energy is an issue for you, Thinking a Million will help, and this book will also help. Gary Keller actually puts an energy plan inside the book for millionaire investors, like how to get your energy right. He talks about prayer, he talks about meditation, he talks about doing exercise and some time for yourself and some time with family. And there's a whole energy plan inside the book. I think that's one of the best tips that so many people miss about becoming a millionaire in this millionaire investment, is that it does require energy. And that the way to create energy for yourself is not what the world will say. It's not grab the caffeine. It's not the coffee. It's not the Monster energy drink. It truly is an internal game. Go ahead, Mike.
That is so funny that you mentioned that, because I pulled the book off the shelf and it fell to page 350, which is actually the energy plan that you just mentioned. That is just crazy. That is the universe in practice. That's amazing. This book is like, I don't know, 500 pages long, and it fell right to the page Walter just mentioned. That's amazing. Yes.
I'll give you a cheat. I'll give everybody on this call a cheat. When I started building the 52 weeks, and this was way before I delivered to anybody. I was just looking for the principles myself. I built a binder for myself of all my best notes from all the talks I've been through, from all my business experience, all my failures, and the coaches I had paid lots of money for. And these were all my best notes. And on the very front of it, I printed the energy plan. And I just took the triangle of his energy plan, the stack of his energy plan, and I put that on the front, because I knew in order to open that book, I would need some power. I need some strength, because every time I opened the book, it meant I had to change something. Or every time I opened the book, it meant something I was doing was going to have to get adjusted, or I was going to have to do something I didn't want to do. Is anybody familiar with those feelings or those moments? So after this was not divine intervention. This was not like I didn't think of it first. After not opening the book for a few weeks, I realized I needed a solution to get myself to do it. And so right on the front of the binder, I put my energy plan. So it was the first thing I'd look at and do. And then once I had energy, I had no problem opening the book. Is that helpful? Nice little pro tip. Awesome. So my suggestion is get your energy plan in front of any kind of work before you walk to your office or before you start your day. Put it on your desk, whatever your world is. Remind yourself of what inspires you. Remind yourself of what gets you that energy, and that it'll help. It'll go a long way. So part of what we do in the 52 weeks, and probably my favorite part, is the communication with this group, with this room. The people in this room are by far the most valuable part of Alchemist Station. We wouldn't be Alchemist Station without you. We would just be Alchemists. Show fans if that's a lonely game, and I'm not interested in playing it. All right, so the Q&A, questions, shares, or opportunities, we do it at the beginning with the people who are in mastery, with the folks who have been through the mentorship program, with the folks who have been to any one of our live events. We have 20 minutes beforehand where we just go through with the coaches and the other speakers, and we go back at question and answer. This part is where we unmute the mics, and anybody who's in any of our programs gets to ask questions live via Facebook Live, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So now the whole world gets to see your questions, and possibly some of you are very smart business owners, have turned your cameras on, you have your smiles on, you're looking professional, and your questions generally lead into me saying, oh yeah, this person owns this type of a business. Show of hands if you understand the kind of marketing opportunity we love to give you. Excellent. So without further ado, I know Stephen is traveling right now. He usually runs our Q&A session, so we'll see if he has service. And let's unmute the mics. First to ask questions wins. Stephen, how's your service doing?
You tell me, how's it going?
You sound great.
All right, then. You look great.
So I know you can't see the room, so I'll just, anytime somebody raises their hand. So first to unmute wins. And if you don't have questions, you're blowing my mind. I've never been on a call and not had a question, especially when it was this public, if you know what I mean. First unmute wins. Go ahead. Or you can give a tip. Tip for thinking like a millionaire, especially if you've come out of it.
Go
ahead, Jason.
I guess I can give one. So this is a win from, I guess, last week. In the room at the summit, got an offer of $500,000 private lender. So I'm back and forth with them, just trying to get terms sorted out. But the trickiness with all that, for anybody looking to raise money, be very clear about what you want to raise that money for, not just, hey, I want $500,000. Because for me, and Walter knows this, my intention is to create pad splits. So if you're going to get a loan, somebody that's a private lender, don't go looking for a 1-year loan. We're looking for something that we're going to be able to hold for a while. So 3 years minimum, and be very intentional and clear about that on the way coming in. So for me, that's the conversation I was having this week, and literally just back and forth a little bit, just trying to get him to the point where he understands that that's the only way I want to take his money right now. I want to start small. Maybe that's not the right thing to say in this group right now, start small, but I mean, I want to build up the trust. So something, 20, 25, 30% of what he does have active, just to say a longer term. And then maybe, of course, pay him off earlier so he gets happy with that. That's always a possibility. Paying people back earlier and more than they actually expected. That's the experience that I had with you, actually. So it felt good for me. I'm sure it feels good for another person. So that's kind of like why I say 3 years minimum, but my intention is to pay it off way earlier, roll it back in, potentially teach people about walking notes. I've never done it before, but I know it's possible. So if they want to keep their money rolling and it's like, well, I want to do another deal, it's like, well, I can walk you over to this one. I don't know. That's kind of dicey with me right now that I don't know all about it, but I know there's possibilities there. So the point is just get in the game and start taking swings. So that's what I've been doing this week as far as wins, and then actually identifying properties. And I'm just going to leave you with this so I don't take up the most time. So thinking like a millionaire, it's funny that we're talking about that. I'm actually going to go take my girls right after we talk here to go look at a property that's being auctioned off in Lutz. Galter, you should probably check this. I'll do a video of it, but it's probably an ideal mastermind house. It's got 9 bedrooms, like 12 baths, a movie theater, pool, all that other stuff, and they're auctioning it off starting bid at 850 in a non-incorporated part of Florida. So I happen to know the agent, the listing agent. That's where I'm going to go, shopping with the girls. Let's just call it. But if anybody here is looking to try to, start Alchemist Nation and have our own land in Florida, hit me up because I think I'll be over there window shopping today like a million. So just since that's the conversation today. So that's it.
I like it. And Jason, how many girls you got?
3 girls. Well, the queen, and then the 3 other 3 girls, the princesses, and then there's the boys. So.
And how many kids total?
6.
6. Let's give Jason a round of applause. He's crushing it. And what he just shared, I think, is important for everybody who's borrowing money. Vinny told me a while back, he says, I don't borrow money. I invest money. I don't borrow money. I invest money. So every time an investor is coming to me, they know where their money is being invested. Jason just gave a perfect example. You have to have a deal. You have to have something that the money is going to go into. And I agree. And Vinny has said the same thing for a long time. 5 years, 10 years. Right? When we're bringing money in, you got to be invested in 5 years, 10 years. And Ron and I have a lot of experience with 1-year notes and 6-month notes. We've given investment money to investors, or we've borrowed investment money from investors. And either side of that, especially when we're lending, we like short-term notes. I'll be real. Yeah, we're very much about 6 months, get our money back, rotate it again, do it again. And when we're borrowing, it tends to be on the longer term because we're borrowing on bigger projects. We're borrowing on things that go a long time. And like Jason said, he invested in one of our projects. We gave the money back to him before he expected, and we gave him a strong return. I think it was 20% over each year. So total, he was 2 years, and he ended up with a 40% return, and he got his money back sooner than he had expected. And that only comes from having set an expectation of it could be a longer time. Does that make sense? Setting real expectations that allows you to beat those expectations. What other questions? One more, Jason. Round of applause for Jason. He was at the summit. He helped out a lot. He really inspired a lot of people with his green hair and his stories and his experiences, and the fact that he's got 6 kids and he loves people. The fostering. He has many of his children are foster children, and him and his wife have really done a lot of work in the foster system to make sure that people feel more comfortable with it, that families feel more comfortable with it. And really just honored to have Alchemist Nation and Jason and Alchemist Nation. Just absolutely amazing. The people we attract, I think, just a blessing to work with really good people. What else? Other questions?
I have something. This is so I have my book launch today. First, it is Veterans Day, so anyone who's on a call that's a veteran that fought to protect this nation, I would like to salute you. And if everyone can give these veterans a round of applause if you haven't done so already. But in addition to that, if you're in the Tampa metro area, I am having the book launch today, and the proceeds are going to Gigi's Playhouse. So my ask is, you can support Gigi's Playhouse. Go use the QR code, purchase the book. And let's try to see if we can raise as much money as we can. GD's Playhouse supports children with Down syndrome. If you're in the area, it's at Brio's Italian Grill. There's open bar, there's free food, so you can come have brunch with me. I'm going to be talking about the book a little bit, but support Gigi's Playhouse and try to make this a great event. So that's my ask for today. Thank you.
Let's give Roland Charles a round of applause. His book launches today. He's got the party going. So Roland, you could drop in the chat the link for your book, and maybe those of us who are interested can level up your sales on that book. And we actually launched 2 books at the summit. We launched The R Factor by Brian Kent, and we launched Vinny's Residential Assisted Living book, which is fantastic. He's been walking on that for a long time. So let's give Vinny and Brian a round of applause as well. It is an exciting year. It is an exciting year. And any more questions that come through, Dorina just told me I have to talk about mastery. I know a lot of people were not at the summit, so I have to share what happened and who we're committing to. So questions, you can drop them into alchemiststation.com. You go to community.alchemiststation.com. Any questions, drop them there. I will be following up with that. Or you can go to Alchemist Station's Facebook group and drop questions there, and we'll take those and we'll answer them. Me, the coaches, the other millionaires. Mastery, in a short answer, we are taking people who are already amazing and we're transforming them into high income earners of their ability to speak, communication level through education, and converting that into building community. So if you've ever seen or heard of Gary Vee, he talks a lot about delivering value, give. So we're going to be showing our mastery students how to build a very strict funnel, a very simple but powerful funnel of building relationship and never letting go of those people. Like how to attract the right people, how to communicate value to them, not just your value, but true value, what they're seeking, and how to move them into your services. So seeking the right people, moving them through a process, and getting them to actually be open to help and open to your help very specifically. So that's like a super high level of it. I go into the details of it. It is primarily made out of 5 components. The first being a powerful mastermind that we all get together every single week at 8 o'clock on Mondays. And in that mastermind, we're going to bring in speakers. So 26 times we'll bring in specialized coaches, speakers on topics that are really important to the group. We'll be voting on what the topics are important within the community, within the mastery program. And then we have Train the Trance. We'll be teaching you how to speak from stage, sell to many. There is Master of Influence. We're going to be showing you how to influence, how to convert once you are in a one-on-one conversation with a person. There is Guerrilla Business School. So we're talking about the actual tactics, the funnel itself, like how to build the funnel in such a way that makes it very easy for people to come to you versus going out there with the fishing line. This is more of a net in a place where traffic already exists. And we'll be talking about generating traffic and allowing that flow to be a little bit better. And then the 4th one is Mission to Millions. Very similar, kind of in line with what we talked about today, where you find your purpose and your passion and you leverage that energy every single day, but also adjust your business mission so that it fits who you are as the entrepreneur, what you're really passionate about, the change you want to make in the world, so that you can monetize your change, so you can go out and actually fund your change. Who here wants to make a massive change that will cost a lot of money as well? You have massive impact you want to have, but it's also going to be very expensive. So it's important to have your purpose driving an income. Like if you can get the funding, then you can basically be unstoppable. Who here knows you're unstoppable anyway, but this will make it easier. I'm okay with making things easier. That's our goal as entrepreneurs, right? Solve people's goals and get them to the next level. So mastery, if you haven't already talked to one of our team about it, or you have questions about it, they can go into much deeper detail. And I think Brian Schilling has a link so that the community can reach out to Brian and get more access to what's going on in there. You can go to events@alchemiststation.com. Send us an email with any questions. If you are in mastery, you want to get into mastery, send it to events@alchemiststation.com. We'll make sure that you get all the information about the program. And if there are any questions about events you can't go to, yes, everybody in it got 2 years on the events. It's 1 year mastermind, but if you can't go to one of the events for some reason, we extended the events themselves for 2 years. Show of hands if you understand. It's not possible always. You know, your life is a different place. It's okay. We'll flex it. If you came to me 3 years from now and you're like, hey, man, I didn't get a chance to go through one of those events, the odds are I'm going to say, okay, get your ass there. If this is the last one, you got to finish it, go ahead. But my God, like do whatever you can to get them this year. 2024 is going to be a huge year for the biggest wealth transfer of all time. People are struggling. They will be for the next 5 years. So I don't want to create a false sense of like, you have to go and do this now. But I do want to, those who are in the best position to take action, understand that this wealth transfer started already. And the senior citizens are already selling their properties at discounts, and they're already running into financial troubles. They're running out of money, and they have too much property, and their kids don't want it. And health issues are causing challenges for them. Like I talked about at the summit, I wake up knowing this every day. And sometimes it's just important to remember that this is already happening. It's not in the future. This is now. And we will start seeing it on the news more and more. I know another bank just went under, or a child filed Chapter 7. So Citizens Bank, I think, is another one that just had an issue. So we're seeing the beginning of this, but it's not even we're not even in the middle, guys, gals. Like you have a lot of work to do. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a lot of people out there who need help. So I am from the bottom of my heart thankful for your commitment to helping others. I can't reach as many people as I would like to reach, but with you, I think we can. This idea of 100 people inspired to help 100 people, inspired to help 100 people, it becomes 10,000, it becomes 1,000,000, it becomes 10 million. So let's give each one of you a big round of applause for your commitment to yourself, your community, to being more impactful, being a better version of yourself on this planet. Let's give Stephen Beaver a round of applause. He's helped me to TMV this week. We were in Aruba right now, which is why I have my normal setup with my millions of dollars and my books in the background. But I do have each one of you. My lighting is amazing, thanks to a lot of research that I did on how to travel and have great lighting, great sound. Show fans, my sound is okay. Thumbs up if it's okay. Thumbs down if it's sucking. Yeah, I love it. So they got a little microphone. I got a little ring lamp. I can travel and do this, but let me tell you, I love being home. Man, I love being home. I love my spreadsheets. I love my laptops. I love my monitors. I love my desk. My desk goes up and down. And I love like that I'm able to research the things that are happening in the market. It's hard to do on a laptop, but when I'm in my space, I am just a whole other person, which I can't wait to get back home and start building with each one of you. You have a lot of work to do, but I am here to support you, and we're going to make sure that you have all the tools and the resources necessary. So let's give each one of you and the whole team, everybody who's backing me up and backing you up, big round of applause. The team is huge. They're powerful people, and they care deeply about your success. So here's a little bit of homework that you can go do right now.
Walter, before you give the homework away, there
Yep.
was one question that you can answer very quickly. I'm not going to steal your thunder. What's the first step that you need to do to start investing in real estate?
The first step is submit an offer. I suppose it would be call a real estate agent and submit an offer. If you don't know how to evaluate it, if you're not sure, go to namesondeeds.com. Free course. It'll teach you how to evaluate deals. And if you're like, oh, I want somebody to teach me, though that probably costs money, and I would just take the free course. Go straight to evaluate deals. Mitch Jorsky teaches it. Mitch is right here on the call. And so Mastery, everybody in Mastery, we start Tuesday night with Mitch and his Scaredy Cat Guide to Real Estate Investing. You've been included in the mentorship program. Good point, Stephen. If you want just the mentorship program, I believe you can go to mentorship.com. Mentorship at alchemistnation.com or mentorship.alchemistnation.com. I don't know that link works, but I know that if you wanted just the mentorship, at some point we had that link available. And if it's not working, you can go to events. Just send us an email at events@alchemistnation.com. We'll make sure you get into the mentorship. Everybody in Mastery, you're already all set. You got the mentorship. We're going to show you how to evaluate deals. We're going to show you how to look at your market, choose your strategy. These next 6 weeks are really powerful. Mitch has spent a lot of time learning. Actually, might as well have Mitch talk about this. He's on the call. Let's give Mitch Jorsky a round of applause. The Scaredy Cat Guide to Real Estate Investing, running our mentorship program. Thank you, Stephen. Good point.
What do you need, Walter?
What can they expect when they get into the mentorship? What can they expect from you? What will you be providing?
The tools and knowledge to acquire real estate and buy good deals. Because at the end of the day, and I said this on stage less than a week ago, feels like it was already months ago. What an event. But at the end of the day, I told the story about how like any idiot can do real estate. And I told the story about the mafioso guy that, pretty much made me feel like my life was threatened. But the reality is, once you learn the blueprint, then it's just about doing the thing, right? And it's not just about taking action; it's about having a process to take action, kind of like Bill Allen talked about. So I don't proclaim to be some genius. I just proclaim that I will teach you the tools and the processes you need to acquire real estate and to buy good deals. Because at the end of the day, especially with rental properties, if you buy right, you're good to go. Like, obviously the sayings, you make money when you buy and all that stuff. It's true. But at the end of the day, it's just like you buy a rental property, make sure it cash flows and you're pretty safe. It's hard to mess it up, right? But how do I go about doing that? How do I find a market? What is a process for finding a good market that works? So, that's something I teach. For example, in like week 2, we basically use what I call the bullseye method to find markets. And then obviously throughout the whole thing, we're going to be running numbers because at the end of the day, you got to get comfortable with that. And then you got to trust that the numbers you're running like make sense and like you're confident in them. And it just goes back to that. You learn the tools and then you get comfortable and confident because it's like, oh, is this a good deal? And it's like, what are the numbers telling you? Yes, it's a good effing deal. Stop questioning it. Just get comfortable. And I speak from experience because this was me when I got started. I would just run numbers, right? So it's really just a launch pad for everything else, right? Everything that is part of the mastery and the accountability that Walter is pretty much going to hit you guys with, like with weekly. It all basically is an extension of learning this foundation and just learning how to correctly analyze deals, how to correctly find properties, and you go from there. So it's I don't know. I'm sort of rambling because I want to make it sound like it's this big thing, but it's super simple. And I'm going to break it down for you guys and we're going to crush it. And I'm going to give you guys the tools you need to go out and do the thing. Like, it's no different than when I used to like coach youth basketball. I'm going to teach you how to shoot the basketball and how to dribble it. And then I'm going to send you on the court and let you do the thing. So that's pretty much what it is. Herbert said, what about financing? We will be talking about that as well. In fact, we'll have Frank Montero on week 3 to speak about financing and help people, with proof of funds and all that good stuff. So, yeah, we got all the bases covered. It's not my first rodeo.
And some of the cool things is in the mentorship this time around. Let's give Mitch Jorsky a round of applause. He's absolutely crushing it. This time around, we actually have Ken Ingram, who is a lender. He's a residential lender in, I think, all 50 states. So he'll be in the program actually as a member learning along with you, but he understands the finance game probably better than most people. So it's actually a really, really cool time to be in it. It literally starts on Tuesday. So if you aren't in the mentorship, my suggestion is just do it because if you can't submit offers, you can't buy real estate. That's what he's going to teach you how to do. Submit offer, submit offer, submit offer, submit offer, submit offer, submit offer. Every real estate investor I know says the key to real estate investing is submitting offers. If you can't submit them, you can't get rich. Does that make sense? Like, I don't care how great a negotiator you are. If you didn't submit an offer, there's no negotiations. I don't care how great a capital raiser you are. If you didn't submit an offer, there's no capital raising. It's just submit offers. That's a very basic core to real estate investing. From there, let's make some mistakes, right? Worst case scenario, you make some mistakes, but my God, if you never submitted offers, you never have anything. Show of hands if you understand. You got to get out there and just do it. And the only way to do it is get some confidence. And Mitch is going to provide that solution. Thank you, Stephen, for reminding me of that. I do see Nikki and Jay have their hands up. Drop it into the Facebook group, guys. I want to make sure everybody can get off in time. I know everybody has, each one of you has really important things to do. Your life is important, and your time with your spouse, your time with your kids. So my suggestion, my request from you is to go out and find somebody who is important to you. You may have not, some of you may not have to go too far. Some of you may have to pick up the phone. But I want you to connect with another human being who's really, really important to you, like the reason you're still here on this planet. Like if that person is still alive, then I want you to connect with them. If they're already passed on, then I want you to, have a conversation with them. But I want you to very, very authentically, with no questions, share with them that you care about them. Share with them in an unequivocal way that you are here to support them, and that you love them, and that you're willing to do absolutely anything for them. You don't have to gush if that's not your nature, but in your way of communicating, please, and in the way that they can receive. So it's really important that they receive this. One person who you put all your weight behind, just please go have a conversation with them today and let them know that they are important to you. If you can do that, then you're already thinking like a millionaire. Relationships are the most important thing that we have, and the people who are close to us, they become our energy source. And so if you can go and do this one task, you're doing me a huge favor, and you're doing you a huge favor, and you're moving yourself forward on this principle. Show of hands if we can take this one action. Find that person, have that conversation. Excellent. Next week, we're going to talk about choosing a business that can make $1 million. And I do call real estate as a business, but you may choose a different business. Some of you have a different advantage in life or in business. And so we're going to talk about how to evaluate your business or your chosen path to make sure that it can make you that $1 million or the next $1 million. Show of hands, we understand Wealth Principle 2 is about you. There's nobody saying specifically do this. You will have to evaluate it yourself, and I'll show you the tools to do that. I can't wait to see you next week. This week, you got a powerful week ahead. You've had a powerful week already in the past. Cheers to your success. We have a choice. Always work with the best. I'll see you next week.
Thank
Doing
you.
good, brother. Appreciate you.
Of course.
Yeah.
Y'all be safe getting back.
Yes.
Thank you.